the initiation in the name of the Master. The first question that we have is how and why these personalities can impact our lives and have impacted my life since 46 years back. I have not been able to learn everything that he teaches, but the first thing that I learned in my first days with following this path of Sambal is that in this world we need cash and not credit cards in spirituality. As soon as I met the Master, was like the ATM, all my life changed. And I didn't get any promise. I didn't have any background in this tradition. I was not looking for anything. How can a person from the East change my life? A person who was foreign to me. And why would you approach these personalities, make a life that normally are with the lips down, you know, like a half moon up, very happy and joyous and fulfilled? Because these personalities carry a power that is not a human power. It's a divine power. And when they look at you, they impregnate you with this power and reorient your life. The mission of the great masters, Asur Baba Sawan Singh Maharaj, civil engineer, Sant Kirpal Singh Maharaj, my master, accountant, CPA, Master Son Darshan Singh Maharaj, Deputy Secretary of the Government of India, and Master Samrajendra Singh Maharaj, engineer in the field of electronics. These beautiful personalities don't live from us. They live on their own earnings. I am not paid. I am pensioned. I am retired. Ashwini, Arvind, Tom, Arlene, Claudia, Patricia are not paid. How can this mission be so big? Over 2,000 centers in the world, helping people to get the key to unlock the treasures of divinity that we all have inside. Yesterday or the day before, we started talking about our condition, our present condition. We all look like paupers. Someone asks us who we are, then we give our Indian name, or Colombian name, or American name, or Irish name, or French name, or Chinese name. This is what we believe we are. If they inquire more on us, then we give the profession. If they inquire more from us, then we say, you know, I am from this country or that country. Little do we realize that these are external gadgets. And that when we die, whether it's a Chinese person, or a Hindu person, or a Muslim person, or a Jewish person, or a Colombian Christian person, or American person, we die the same way. We all close our eyes, or our eyes go up, and kaput, we are gone. Something, not a Chinese soul, not a Muslim soul, not a Christian soul, a soul, simply like that. A soul goes out. What happened afterwards, you know, is something very interesting. You know, we just have to read to understand a little bit about what's going on after. But nowadays, with the scientific approach to spirituality, especially in this golden age, there is this field of near-death experiences where people from all walks of life, very ignorant, simple people, or very educated, like Dr. Evan Alexander, a from Harvard, they are talking about there is a world beyond. And they are talking about the being of light that received them when they apparently died, and is the one that tells them, you know, you have to go back. And some of them had a review of their lives, and they understood that it's not the bank account, how many properties we have, to which party do we belong, what country do we belong. It's not how many children we have, and how did we, you know, make them professionals. That counts in the beyond. Nothing. Only counts how much love we gave to others. How did we understand the creation of God? Did we encompass only our family, wife and children? Or we encompass the whole family, or the whole community, or the whole city, or the whole country, or the world, or the cosmos? That's what counts. Did we look for our Creator? Everybody very Olympic says, I'm the son of God. You know? Who doesn't say so? Especially when you are kids, you know, when we are not involved with the intellectual wrestling that creates so much havoc in our lives. We say we are the children of the Creator. Very easy to say. The children of the Creator are princes and princesses because God is the king. And if we say, I'm the child of God, who are you? A princess. And who is he? A prince. But do we behave like that? Do we walk on life full of joy, security, assurance that I have all my problems solved because my Father is taking care of me? And I believe that we're in search of that. If we don't find it in life, we may live miserable lives. Because there is nothing worse like depression, despondency. When you are downtrodden, when you feel abandoned, when you feel poor, when you feel ill, when you feel that nobody loves you. We have to put our hand, our hand not in this heart because it creates so much problem. The heart of the mysteries is right here. We have to put our hands here and says, did my Father created me? Did he create me imperfect? Did he create me without sources? Do I need to go externally to find the sources? Do I have to pay to go in a plane to look for my sources? What happened with the poor people that don't have a penny to go? So there is discrimination on earth and in heaven. And this is a story that this great master told in Canary Island. Canary Island is a beautiful 7 volcanic islands in front of Mauritania in Africa. They belong to Spain. So when Master came there, when Master went there, you know, there were people like you, but many of them didn't know how to read or write. I was surprised. And I said, how can you know these people are illiterate, but they were beautiful, they were kind-hearted. And then when Master addresses this kind of audiences, Master talks like to children. You know, he doesn't talk about the Genome Project or about the, you know, hormones and, you know, the intricate problems of health or whatever. He talks like to children, and he told them this story. He said, one day, a couple of guys come to heaven. One is a very poor man, and the other one is a very rich man. When the rich man comes, there was a lot of fanfare. All Bangalore was there, all the, you know, all the drums and flutes and everything, and banners, welcome, but nothing for the poor man, everything for the rich man. And then, you know, God himself goes first to the rich man and welcomes him. And he had a lot of, you know, biscuits, chai, delicious chai, coffee, latte, vanilla, all these things, you know, tofu, every delicious thing so that he welcomed him. And then Master says that the best, you know, the poor guy, the peasant was surprised. You know, what's going on here? And then, you know, he says, can I escort you to the patio where we are going to honor you, says God to the rich man. And then, you know, they open the door and the poor man just peeped through the, you know, edge of the door, what's going on, and he saw stadium, full, like U.S. Bank Stadium, or like 5 times the U.S. Bank Stadium, full of people, you know, chanting, hail to this guy. And a lot of music, angel scores, choirs singing. And he says, you know, if God is receiving this guy with so much fanfare, what's going to be with me that I was simple, I never complained, I love everyone, I never stole, you know, something like that. Okay, now comes his turn. So God says, okay, come, you come with me. And he comes with him. And he entered the stadium empty. Totally empty. No music, no bhangra, no famous singers singing for him, no banners. And then the guy says, God, yes, son? Can I ask you something? Yes, of course, you can ask me anything. And he says, I know discrimination is on earth. You know, it's not, you know, no doubt about it. But why discrimination in heaven? Why, you know, this guy was received with so much fanfare and me, you know, nothing here? I says, I know your question, my son, and I know what is troubling your mind. But this type of guy comes every 100,000 years, and you, guys like you come every day. So for those who are rich, they come very few, because they are very happy here. Like I asked Master why they are happy here, because you know they just pick up the telephone and says, how many doctors do I need for my arthritis? Okay, he has like 10 doctors. How much money do I need to pay the, you know, all the bankers, you know, whatever you want. I even don't pay any interest. We give you more, whatever you want. Food. You know, they don't have to go to the supermarket. They bring the supermarket to their homes. You know, they don't want that. They don't need that. And that's why when we have so much riches and so much wealth, you know, it's a big ocean between God and us. Because we are happy here. And as long as we are happy on this illusionary world, we don't want to go home and we don't want to meet the Alpha. So Master says that little do we remember, San Rajendra Singh Maharaj says, that we are the children of God. That we are not the body, nor the mind, not the intellect, not the emotions. We are souls, conscious entities, which are full of the love and light of God. Then Master tells another story. I'm a storyteller, I love that, because this present Master, San Rajendra Singh Maharaj, illustrates everything so easy. And he tells the story of King Paros, on olden time, the time of Alexander the Great. When Alexander the Great was in India, he had to fight with King Paros, who had an army of 20,000 people, says Master. You know, I didn't read the whole story. And King Paros was a great warrior, and he comes to fight Alexander. And Alexander, who at the age of 33 has become the ruler of the known world of those days, and he started being king at the age of 20. You know, he fought this guy who had 20,000 soldiers and killed 12,000, even 2 children of King Paros. What happened was that when he wanted to know the king, when he was captured, he saw like a majestic king of 7 feet tall, And he says, you know, he had to come down from his horse and say hello to this majestic king, and says, you know, I know we have captured you. And he says, yes, I'm here. And he says, I want to grant you a wish. What would you like, you know, to give you so that you are more comfortable? And please tell me. I said, just treat me as a king. I said, well, that's discarded. We will treat you as a king, but what else do you need? Know that in being treated as a king, everything is included. So Master says, when we come to the realization that we are kings and queens of the kingdom of God, then we have everything. We have no reasons to complain. Everything is there, we are happy, we are fulfilled, we have an unconditional love, we are wise, we are like, you know, in a lot of joy, and we are fearless, because we know that whoever is taking care of us is always at the beck and call, protecting us and loving us. So Master says that the God power, when he comes and approaches us, is called Nur, or Shabbat, or Na'am, or Kalma, or Surti, and the Holy Word. This is the created power that came from the Creator, and so Kabir is telling us, if everything comes from God, who are we to say this is high, this is low, this is good, this is bad, when everything belongs to Him? When we are saying that God and devil exist, we are taking God at the same level of the devil. And God is the owner of this guy. You know, he can, you know, just tell him, you know, behave properly, and he will behave properly because he has to do it. So when we are with the Almighty power connected, and we can do that through a simple and powerful method of meditation, then we are safe. We are on a right track. But how can we approach and get this treasure? We all believe, that things are easy. But when we look at our life, when we went to college or to the university, or we were excelling in sports or in any other arena, we know how many hours we had to spend to become a professional. I did my graduation and post-graduation, and how many hours did I have to do, did I have to put in order to be a professional? And if I am a sportman like Tom Seaver, how many hours did he have to go to become one of the best pitchers of his time? So, or Michael Jordan, how many times he had to spend, you know, trying to put the ball in the right place? You know, everything needs, and what a doctor, how many years of practice and studies he has to do. And then we want to reach God overnight. Oh yes, I'm just going to meet God, I close my eyes and boom, balloon I go, and then God is going to receive me, open the doors and say, my son. No. We have to do a lot of work. And then Master says that tribulations of life are hurdles in our path. When we have illnesses, the illness can be physical or mental or emotional. We can have weaknesses that can be also physical, mental, or emotional. So we have a lot of hurdles or tests that God wants us to put in order to give us the gift. We all know stories about kings who wanted to give the kingdom to 5 or 6 children, and he wanted to prove who is the best. You know, the wise king is not going to give it just because the guy is the older one. No, he wants to give it to the best, to the guy who is doing the work, who is going to perform in the kingdom the best. So, Master says, is patience, stability, and faith in God, that things are going to be better. And when we have these characteristics, then we can reach our goal. And if we are not patient, if we are in a rush, if we are in a hurry, then we never be able to reach our goal. And so saints and mystics, like Sant Rajinder Singh Maharaj, are exhorting us that we need, listen to this, because this is the gist, like the essence, like the core of this talk based on Master's teachings. Master is exhorting us to strengthen our roots. Not my roots as Losano, no. Not my roots as Colombian, no. Let's see what's going on. So Master tells this beautiful anecdote about 2 trees. One is a royal palm tree, tall, majestic. Have you seen a tall person? You know, some of them are shy and they walk like this, but some of them are sure that they have a gift. God has given him or her a height, and if they walk properly, they look like palm trees, you know. And then there was, besides the palm tree, the royal palm tree, an oak tree. And the oak tree has a big trunk, but the branches are all crooked. You know, one is this way, the other is this way, while the royal palm tree has gone to the beauty salon and has always beautiful hair. You know, all the palm trees, you know, are very nice. But one day, Master says, you know, this guy who is taller and taller and taller, feel problem in his or her back. like many of us, you know, we have like a weak back pain. I have tremendous. And the guy says, oh my God, what happened to me? I've been so royal, so beautiful, so tall. And why this come? Then he concentrates and he put more hair. You know, he put more branches here and there, but in a very orderly way. One day, Master says, a wind comes and breaks the trunk of the palm tree. And he thought quickly, how me, so intelligent, so bright, so beautiful, so tall, so strong, are falling. How am I falling? Why am I falling? And then, you know, before he finished thinking, he falls on the branches of the oak tree. And he looked at the oak tree and says, you know, I always despise you, I never liked you. I thought you were the ugliest person in the whole world. I've been so strong in this year, this is what Master quoted him. And I fell down and you stopped me from breaking totally. And you gave me support. So how come you could support me? Because you are so crooked yourself. And your one branch is going here, the other is going there. You are not even tall or strong like me. And the oak tree, with a smile, with a humble smile, says, while you were strengthening your branches, I was strengthening my roots. So let's see what's going on with the roots. Because, you know, the oak trees have big roots all over the place, and that's what is needed in life. You know, we have been cycling for millions of lifetimes, and if we want to get off the wheel of transmigration, this is the opportunity that we have. But we need to strengthen the roots. So how do we strengthen the roots in the spiritual path? So Master says, and remember these 4 beautiful formulas. We like formula, you know. How do I get slim? Formula is step 1, 2, 3, 4. How do I get my skin nice? 1, 2, 3, 4. How do I get, you know, concentrating in my studies? You know, we have a formula. How do we strengthen the spiritual roots? 4. This is the formula given by Master. First thing is meditation. Second thing is ethical living, ethical virtues in our lives. Third thing is keeping the company of those who are also spiritually sound, like this meeting is the third. Satsang. When we come and with like-minded people, we are sitting. And the fourth thing to help us is something that if it is missing, the other three will not work. Love and grace from a living master, a perfect living master. Love and grace, and of course, the umbrella of God. So we start to look at these 4 areas, and we are going to understand how can we strengthen our roots in these 4 areas. Why meditation is a key to our spiritual growth? God is spirit. He can only be known as spirit. Soul is spirit. So we have to have that connection. And that connection, according to the great mystics, and we in the Catholic tradition have one of the greatest mystics of all times in the West, called the Doctor of the Catholic Church, is Saint Teresa of Avila. Paul VI. You know, he had this book at his bedside, the castle, the inner castle. And the inner castle says in a nutshell that we have 2 ways to approaching God. One is external way, and he says those souls are groveling around the door of the castle but never enter. But she found something different to open a door. Is a key. And that key she called it, not meditation in her own words 600 years ago, she called it praying with attention without moving our lips. What does it mean? Praying with attention without moving our lips. And then she explains how she could enter the castle of God and how she understood that she was a queen and she was of royal family. She was not this, abandoned lady or persecuted because they wanted to roast her in the woods, to kill her, because she was talking about something that nobody knew. Because, you know, ignorance, the darkness of ignorance is when you see everything through the 5 senses and you don't believe that you have an inside door. When you don't have the inside door, then you consider that everything has to be tested in the lab tube, in the lab experiment, or that you can do like a magic equation, or that you can do through logic, understand God. No, God has nothing to do with intellect. Intellect is only to live and to get our money, to get our, little cash to live, to put our, cover on our head, to pay for the tuition of our children, or to have some food for having this rounded personality. That's money. But to meet God, we need to know some sort of an experiment, some sort of a device, and that device in the human body. And Master says, look at anyone dying, and they will raise the eyes. I have seen many, so I cannot go to books. I just open up my remembrance books. When I saw someone die, they go like this, and they die. So there is a point where everybody has to concentrate, to focus, and open that door. But without the key, no possible. So Master provides, Masters of Sammat says that a perfect Master will provide the key to open that door and to connect us with the creative power. If we are connected with the creative power, we are done. We are done. You know, we can walk through this life, you know, and like my great Master Sankirpa Singh Maharaj says, why are you afraid of the barking of the jackals or the dogs, the wild dogs, when you are at the feet of the lion? Why do I have to fear? But that cannot be an intellectual deduction. It has to be an experience. When you have that experience, then you walk like queen or a king. So Master says, we all eat regularly. And if we want to give food to the soul, we have to do it regularly. We cannot just understand these teachings and say, oh, I like to go to Arvin, Ashwini, or Arlene, or Tom, or whatever, you know, to the place there once a month because I enjoy there. I feel happy. I live there and I'm strong. No, no, we have to do that daily. We have to separate a place in our home and a time to meet this power, whatever we call it. We call it the word, we call it the logos, we call it Kalma Sruti, or whatever name we call it, but we have to sit there and connect. And once we are connected, we are fed, we are nourished, and we live a beautiful life, and that's the key to strengthen our roots. Ethical living. If we are going to concentrate, but we have hit someone in the chin, we have created a big fuss in a place, we have killed animals to feed ourselves, you know, the waving of the mind will be such that you cannot concentrate. It's a scientific trial. You know, many people who has come to the talks that I have given, or in the name of Sant Rajendra Singh Maharaj, or Sant Darshan Singh Maharaj, or Sant Kirpal Singh Maharaj, they come to tell me, I don't need to be vegetarian to do meditation. I says, well and good. You are welcome here anyhow. You can come anytime and try. And after they try 1, 2, 3 weeks, they say, my concentration is impossible. I said, check your food. You know, you can motorbike with a special kind of oil, gasoline. You have to put some special gasoline to a BMW or a big car. But what about the airplanes? Try to put motorbikes, gasoline to a plane, it will never take off. We will ruin the motor because we need a very special food so that the soul can raise up. This is my experience. You know, if you have another one, perfect. But mine that has no background at all. I only knew that when I perfected meditation, I needed to be ethical, and ethical living means that we are truthful, that we are not violent, that we are pure. And I am not pure, I am not non-violent, I am a human being like you, but I'm trying my best. That you are selfless service and you're home. I am not home. So don't mistake me. Master is the epitome of perfection that I follow, and I never find any fault on him. So ethical living helps us in loving the creation, in understanding that creation is only one. So Master says, but what is so potent that we don't pay attention is the thoughts. And then he takes a beautiful quote from Sant Kirpal Singh Maharaj, like a poem that says, kind hearts are the gardens, kind thoughts are the roots, kind words are the branches, and kind deeds are the fruits. So we have to put into practice this ethical living, and then our concentration and connection inside will strengthen. Master says that the third thing we need is to have a good company. You know, usually we don't see like a goose and a dove fly together, or an eagle and a crow, or an eagle and a sparrow. You know, we need people like-minded to concentrate. And this is why we need to have like people who have the same goal. And this is satsang. So it's very good that we have in mind that we are following the masters. They are our examples. And Masters and Kirpal Singh Ji Maharaj said when someone said, Master, but it's very difficult to be like you. And he says, what one man can do, so can another. And then comes love and grace. We come to this path, and some people believe they can do it themselves. Okay, we can try. I tried all my life until I met the Master and I understood and surrendered. I cannot do it myself, I need a guide. If we have children, we know that in order to help them to brush their teeth, we have to teach them. To walk, we have to teach them. And to find God, we don't need a teacher. The highest of all sciences, the spiritual science, we need someone. Someone who does not touch our religion. Someone who is not after our pockets. Someone who is only after our goodness and help us to fulfill our purpose in life, which is, according to Masters, to experience ourselves as souls and to experience and merge with God. But how do we spend our lives is what we have to measure, but I'm not going to title with this. I'm going to just let you today with the meditation practice explained by Master himself, so that I don't interfere with this. And I just want to thank you all for your patience in listening, and also for the help that you have given to the mission of the Master, helping me to be here and to fall more in love with this community. Thank you very much.